What's up guys, it's Les here. Today I'm going to show you how to change over one of these light fixtures, one of the old kind, into an LED strip. I learned how to do this out of necessity. This strip, along with a couple others that I have, stopped working, and it wasn't a bulb, it wasn't the starter, it was the ballast that was shot, or sometimes there was things that were melted. I got all my stuff secondhand, and oftentimes things break and people just sell them as is. So that's what happened. Ended up removing all the guts to this light fixture here. I'm gonna tape it off and paint it the inside white. That'll be the first step. The second step, once we're done doing that, is gonna be to install the light bar. Now, I get these light bars from a store locally called Princess Auto. You might have this store where you live. But if not, all it is a 3D or a LED light strip and it's made for like trailers and like homemade utility trailers and stuff like that. It's in that section, and it requires a 12-volt power supply, DC 12-volt power supply. So that's why I have this here. This is from, I have no idea, some sort of old electronics, but I use these because they're free. Like, my mom had one of them lying around and she gave it to me, and now I'm making a light out of it. But I've made a couple others with similar type adapters, and as long as they're 12 volt output, they seem to work. So they all have different milliamp numbers on them, and it doesn't seem to make a difference for these lights. It's just trial and error on my part, so if it doesn't work for you, try another adapter. I'm not an electrician. Just trying to save a little money on the hobby. The light strips cost me $16.99. This was free, and this otherwise would have been garbage to me. So now I'm recycling it in a sense, or repurposing it. I'm gonna spray it white just quickly here. I don't know how many coats it's gonna take. I'll spray it once, and then we'll cut to when the paint's dry. When I use spray paint, I like to keep the can moving at all times. And I don't like to press the button down for too long at one time either. Just if that way it kind of goes on slow and steady, and it doesn't cake on or drip too badly. Realistically, it doesn't matter that much because this fixture will be facing downward, but it's just good practice to try to do a good job. Eventually, it will matter when you're painting, so that's why. So it looks like one coat's gonna do it here. It's covering it nicely. That's kind of why I use this paint. I tried a couple other brands, and I didn't get the same coverage. I needed to always do a couple coats, which I didn't like. But I use this brand. It's Rustoleum Ultra Cover 2X, and I use the black, the blue. I use the blue on almost all my tanks, the black on the other tanks that I didn't use the blue on. There we go. Step one. The inside's all nice and dry now, painted white, good for reflecting the light. The other things you're gonna need now to finish this light off are the light strip, which I got from Princess Auto. It comes out to $18 after taxes. but there's not much information about the specs and stuff. I went online and tried to get some, but there's really not much. It says that you require a 12-volt power supply, so DC. So we've got this adapter from some old electronics. We'll need to cut the end off and prepare it to be connected. We're going to connect it to this wire, but we're also going to wire in the switch first. So let's get to it. Now it's time to start taping up the connections and then putting it back together. Got some tape ready here. It would be a good idea to solder these connections, but I'm not really going to that extent on this project. It'll be fine with the tape as long as tape it up properly and you don't let any moisture get to this light. Put it on top of a glass lid or something. I usually mount them to the bottom of my stands too. Alright, so we're all connected here. Put the button back in. So now it's just a matter of mounting this light bar into the light fixture. So I think what I'm going to do for this one is I'm going to use silicone. I haven't done it that way before, but I've been meaning to attempt it because in theory it should work great. So it's going to take about 15 minutes or so to set, and then I'll be able to test it out one more time. Just make sure it's working before everything's finalized. But I'm just going to put a tiny bead here on the back. It won't need much. Go. All right, so I'm gonna put something to weigh it down a little bit, but essentially, there we go. You can see here the power supply wire comes in through there. The positive wire goes into the switch, then the switch connects to the positive wire on the light, and the negative wire on the light connects to the other end of the power supply. Alright, so time to test out the light here. I got it on half of a 4-foot tank to show you how good it lights up. It lights up really nicely. You can see the fish. I'm not sure how good it is for plants because I don't really grow many. Most of the plants that I have are low light plants, but it turned out well. The light switch works, turns it on and off. This light works for me. I've done it over here on this tank too. I've got other versions of it on some of my other tanks, but there you have it.